I've turned to puzzle games all about organising to essentially procrastinate getting my life together rather than facing the chaos directly. I think I've lost half of my belongings to drawers and cupboards around my house which I cannot bear to look at. Don't look at me like that. I know that you've probably got a junk drawer somewhere filled with things that you swore you needed at the time. But these treasure troves are an essential part of every home. But as much as I sing its praises, it doesn't make the task of organising it any easier. So this is where I start to turn to games for, if anything, a bit of motivation to get cracking with my extensive organising to-do list. Puzzle games in particular tend to be my crutch in times like these, but I'm not talking about puzzle games that challenge you to walk around a map and find hints and clues to help you progress. I'm talking about the puzzle games that give you the same satisfaction as sitting down at a coffee table trying to desperately jam jigsaw pieces together. Luckily for me, we've seen plenty of games like this, from unpacking apartments to setting up caravans, but the one I want to talk about takes you through the process of organising something a little more close to home. I'm Cara, this is Cozy Corner, and today we're sitting down with A Little to the Left. A Little to the Left released in 2022 and offers you over 100 opportunities to organise collections of household objects, not to mention 2 DLCs which have since been released, with one specifically targeting the fated cupboards and drawers which I've already been so quick to ridicule. Everything from the toolbox to the pasta jar is ready to be organised, and a handful of puzzles will offer multiple solutions to keep you thinking. I love that certain puzzles aren't one and done. Having the opportunity to go back and find a new solution definitely keeps me on my toes whenever I need a little satisfaction and I'm ready to face my own chaos. Because why would I actually do it when I can virtually sort my life out? But while I'm making my way through the satisfying selection of puzzles, I can't help but wonder why games like A Little to the Left are so popular. Aside from the obvious, they're satisfying and don't make you feel any sort of pressure, I can't help but think why a game that gives you what could so easily be a real-world task to complete is so well loved. After a lot of thinking and a good few hours spent ordering cupboards by size or facing everything up, I realised that the reason I love this game so much is because it gives me control over something that feels a lot easier to tidy up rather than any real-life equivalent. I don't have to worry about pulling everything out of a box or a drawer and essentially making more mess before things start to neaten up. Instead, I can just move items off to the side of the screen until I'm ready to deal with them. There's no onslaught of having to sort everything out in one big go. And when I'm done, I can just log off and there's no evidence I just torn my in-game room apart trying to make things so tidy. It'll be my consequence when I boot the game back up, sure, but it's not there staring at me in the eye and begging to be put away, much like the pile of clean laundry that is perpetually crying to be put away from a chair in my bedroom. Out of sight, out of mind, or at least that's what I keep telling myself, which is definitely not a beneficial statement in this circumstance. Another reason I think A Little to the Left really nails what it does is that there's also nothing to halt your progress, which is needed for a game so reliant on being satisfying. I can imagine any slight bit of challenge putting me off wanting to revisit certain levels, especially those where I took much longer than I like to admit finding what was an embarrassingly easy solution. There is an occasional cat paw to reach up and swipe or knock whatever you're working on, but it's not as frustrating as it sounds in practice. There is always a puzzle to solve. Whether or not you've made your way around the house and then gone as far as downloading the DLCs, A Little to the Left always has something for you to do. But if you venture further than this in-game household, there's been a rise in games that encourage this sort of real-world organisation lately, and frankly, I'm here for it. I hate moving house, but unpacking somehow makes the experience of taking all of your belongings out of boxes kind of fun. The same can be said for the demo of Campervan Make It Home. It's all about finding a perfect spot for every object, even the fiddly ones that don't seem to have their place. I'm looking at you, Mocha Pot and Paella Pan, the bane of my existence. Even outside of these productive puzzle games though, you've got games like Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions and Virtual Cottage that are designed to encourage productivity while still scratching the itch of playing a game. For the most part, these games just sit on your screen to keep it occupied while you can crack on with other things, and even though you're not directly engaging with a character or a game, it's still more entertaining than just staring at your desktop background and praying your to-do list ticks itself off. Plus, even getting rewarded for completing tasks, if that includes ticking off a list you've written in a game like Spirit City, definitely makes the challenge more approachable. Sometimes it's this gentle sort of encouragement that helps you feel inspired to complete something. Also, seeing your progress as you work your way through feels more tangible, which is helpful for tasks which may not have a visual or tangible reward when completed. Sure, you see the progress once you've cleaned your house, but if you need to finish an essay or meet a submission deadline, you won't get to witness a final product. When you get to check something like this off your list in Spirit City, you get in-game currency and experience, and sometimes that's just enough to keep me working away. But no matter how many tasks I tick off my to-do lists, or how long I spend sorting out every nook and cranny in A Little to the Left, I know that my real-life equivalents won't sort themselves out until I finally get down to it. So why don't we try and take on the challenge of our junk drawers together then? Let's share what we've squirreled away for years in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to PC Gamer if you want to join me next time in Cozy Corner. That's all from me!